Absolutely. I think anger is one of the emotions that almost every family would raise their hand and say, this is an area that we need some support on, right? This is an area.
Yep.
But what I wanted to ask you was, is it that anger is more difficult to manage compared to the other emotions? Or is it that the consequences of reacting in anger is so much more vivid that we feel anger more?
I think the latter. I think that's a beautiful way to say it, because anger is an intense emotion. And as you know, as I know, because we're human beings, and I always say there are two kinds of people. There are people who have issues and dead people. So if you're alive, you've got issues. And when it comes to these emotions, we have intense emotions. Now, anxiety can be really intense. Sadness, depression can be really intense. But you hit the nail on the head, because with anger, typically it's the consequences. Because to get out of anger, we often lash out to get rid of it. But then, boom, we look at the consequences and say, oh, now the anger's gone, but I'm left with the consequences. This is one of the reasons why I always say to people, emotions come and go, but your actions simply cannot be undone.
Love that. Okay, let's dive a little deeper into helping us all understand what's happening when we get taken over by anger. When anger's, because sometimes it feels like it almost blinds you, like you lose the ability to respond in alignment to your goals or your intention. So what's really happening for us in those moments?
So if you've ever, anyone out there watching, if you've ever had a moment where you had a really scary moment, maybe you're driving on the road and someone almost cuts you off and you think, oh no, and there's a flash. What happens in that moment is your brain floods your body, specifically your fight or flight response, sends a message to your adrenal glands and it goes, watch out. And now your body's flooded with this cortisol and adrenaline, and it almost feels surreal, like, wow, this is like a life-threatening moment.
Mm.
And when we're in these deeply intense moments, the only way to expel this energy is often rah, I yell, I scream, a hit, some sort of action that we complete the energy. And one of the simplest ways to see this is if you ever watch ducks on a pond. So if you've ever sat watch these ducks on a pond, and here they go and they fight, 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 fight. When they go away from each other, you'll watch them flap their wings really hard. And I always say they're flapping their wings to get the rest of that energy out, though they have to get rid of it. And we need to do that too. What I've found are creative ways for us to get flap our wings, essentially, like in relationships and parenting. Like, let's find a way to flap our wings so that we don't have to come at others simply because we're in this uncomfortably intense emotion.